Hi everyone, welcome back to Community Game number 4, the first episode, and the first video on this channel for about a month and a half, roughly. There's been a bit of a break, but we're back now. Yes, just before we begin, I'll introduce the players, the final players, in a second. Now the format of these videos for this game is going to be a bit different. My normal format for the community games was to record live and go through everyone's turns. This one, because the last game was quite long, I'm thinking this time I'm trying to mix it up slightly. I'm going to record my commentary post-gameplay. I'm going to try and condense a few of the rounds into one video, just so that it's not, as long. So it's going to be a bit shorter and a bit more condensed, but I'm hoping that's still going to be quite good. I'm sure we'll still get a flavour of the game and how things are going from everyone's perspective. But yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a bit different this time, just playing around. But we'll see how it goes. But anyway, yeah, let's get stuck in. So a quick run on the players. Playing as Russia, we have the real Keat. Playing as Germany, finally a different nation. I've got myself, which is nice. I'm not playing as Japan for a change. As the UK, we've got I Baxter. As Japan, we've got Keanu Leaves, and as the US, we've got Tem7. So, there are 5 players. Let's jump in. Okay, here we go. So first off, I think Russia had a pretty solid round 1, I have to say. Ukraine went 3 tanks left in the Ukraine for Russia is good. That's a solid win. So still got a fair remainder of troops. I think the right choice for the real Keat. He moved in the anti-air as well. So meaning I can't take that back with planes because it's not worth me trying to risk a plane just to try to take back the Ukraine. So yeah, a nice move there. I think West Russia as well, pretty good. 6 infantry still remaining, so that's not a bad attack on West Russia. But yeah, solid attack on Ukraine. So I'm obviously thinking infantry. That's going to be a standard play for me nowadays moving forward as Germany. Heavy infantry builds on round 1. Now, this is my first mistake. There, it's just happened. Now, what I find, I'm being quite I make 2 mistakes in this round 1, and that was one of them, moving the transport into the battle. Because I find with the hitboxes for the ships in that area, I often try and click on the cruiser and I get the transport, and if I'm just rushing through the attack, so it's automatic, I attack with everything. I will sometimes miss that, like I did here, which is fairly sloppy from me. I still double check and notice that's a problem. But yeah, so I threw that transport into the battle by mistake. I don't spot it, so it will die. Now obviously as well, we can't use planes to take back the Ukraine because we can't risk losing one this early. So I am thinking of using the transport by Italy to try and help out a little bit, to throw a few more land troops in there. Just for a bit of an easier take. Plus we've got the bombardment as well from the battleship, which is a good thing. Yeah, so just did some calculations here to try and figure out what I could take that comfortably with, without throwing in too much. Now, the second mistake I make was I originally put a tank attacking the Ukraine, and I adjusted for that. I was trying to see what I could, comfortably take the Ukraine with without actually using a tank, but I forgot to take the tank off the attack, so we actually attacked with a tank as well, which was not intentional. So that's the second mistake. So a fairly sloppy first round for me here, actually, in terms of actual just movement of the troops. But we are going to the Ukraine. The odds are obviously heavily in our favour, more than they should be because there's an extra tank there, but still. So yeah, we're moving in. Okay, so this is the standard attack for me now. I always throw in everything to the C-zone. Yeah, absolutely brutal. Brutal rolls. The 3s just weren't hitting for me. Now at this point, I rushed that attack. I went through that way too quickly. Because what I should have done then was pull the planes out. Because I kept the planes in the battle longer than they should have been. Because we lost 2 planes in that sea battle, which is pretty devastating for Germany early on. So yeah, we're 2 fighters down in round 1 already. To be fair, that C-zone battle, I've never lost that badly since I've started throwing in all the German fleet. I've never lost the battle that badly, so that was a really, really rough start. So we're 2 planes down. Also a tank down, really, because the Ukraine, you'd expect Russia to counterattack the Ukraine, especially if there's a tank sitting there. That's a bit of a bonus unit there to take as well. So we've not been able to mobilise. Normally I'd like to obviously throw a few infantry towards Karelia, or move them that kind of way to kind of, pave the way for the mass occupation of Karelia, but obviously we lost our transport. Not too much of a problem though. I think we knew at this point, obviously, because the real key quite nicely purchased a tank on round 1, so it's given him a bit more attacking power into Karelia. So I knew with what I had left, I couldn't hold Karelia with the ground troops available. So I decided to take Karelia just lightly, 1 infantry, just to take it for now. And we'll hopefully do a bit more of a bigger attack next round. We're stacking France, obviously. Want to hold that as long as we can. At this point, obviously, in a normal game, you wouldn't at this point be able to tell what would happen, as in the Allied strategy KGF or KJF. But I think immediately after that sea battle, it seemed to me very, very likely that it was going to be a KGF. Because, yeah, you don't expect to lose that badly. And plus, with 2 fighters down, so it makes complete sense now for the Allies to go for KGF. So, yeah. That's what we were expecting moving forward here. Dropping troops down. So that's probably one of the worst starts I've had as Germany for a while. Pretty bad. And for me as well, that's pretty sloppy play. I think I should have just slowed down a bit. Again, I should, take note of my own advice. Just don't rush this game, because if you rush it, you're going to make mistakes like I did this one. So, yeah, always take your time. Okay, so jumping straight into round 2. As we can see, Russia's taken back Ukraine, as we thought. We lost a tank, needlessly, which was not good. And we know for certain now that the Allies are going to KGF, which is totally what we expected. It's the right move as well, given how badly Germany's round 1 went. It was, definitely the right move. So again, I'm going to go for heavy infantry purchases. My job now, knowing the situation, is going to be to hold as long as I can for Keanu to try and mobilise and back me up. So heavy infantry purchase again. The idea is going to be to shore up my coastlines, France. Try and take Karelia if I can and hold it as long as I can. But obviously not at the cost of defending my coastlines. France is going to be a big one for me here. The problem is as well, I've obviously losing those 2 fighters early on. My defensive capabilities are significantly, worse than they should be, because 2 fighters defending on a 4 they're so valuable, and that's just 2 units defending on a 4 that I'm not going to have for the rest of the game. I can't afford to purchase them again, because obviously how bad it's gone already. Every bit of IPC needs to be spent now on, defensive units, so we're going to go for infantry. So I did a bit of a calculation for the defence of Karelia, should we take it. I wasn't completely comfortable with the odds we had. It's entirely possible that the problem was that the odds for Russia taking it were about, 38% roughly? I can't remember what the percentage was. That's just for Russia. If the Russians attacked and got a good number of kills, then obviously the follow-up from the British would be enough to take it, meaning all my tanks were gone, and that would be utter disaster. So I made the choice this round not to go for Karelia. I think that was probably the right choice given the odds. It wasn't worth holding it at the risk of losing the entire my entire tank force, basically. They need to be protected now, because they are units defending on F3, which are valuable at this stage. Because I know I'm not going to get a chance to repurchase them, so protecting them is going to be a priority. So Keanu, he's going to try and take India as soon as possible. Obviously, he wants the pressure from his side of things. Knowing the Allies are going to go for me, he's trying to mobilise as fast as he can, so he's going to try and go for India. Not a bad take of Ukraine there. Karelia. Again, pretty good. We're just trying to create a front here and just hold the front of Belarus, Ukraine, and Karelia. That's the provinces I want to hold, if I can, for a while. obviously because they are very valuable. They're all worth 2, which, it does mount up, definitely. Having Russia controlling those is just going to be add to the snowball effect of the Allies taking or trying to take Berlin. So I tried to make sure France was fairly safe from attack. We've got the bulk of the German forces from Berlin, obviously going through the Baltic states to try and get into Karelia for round 3. That's the plan, to try and occupy Karelia for round 3 and hold it. So not too bad, not too bad. Again, just to build up around this one, trying to prep for things down the line, but yeah. It's going okay so far. I think obviously we know we're under heavy pressure now, given how bad Germany's round 1 was, so Kiana's trying to move as quickly as he can to try and help me out. So he needs to, the key for me now is just trying to survive until Kiana gets there, because I'm under severe pressure already. So a lot's going to depend on Kiana's speed, really, and my ability to defend, effectively. So, yeah, under pressure. So, as of round 2, it's looking, dicey, I would say. Dicey, but we're okay. It's only round 2, so we can still pull this one back, but, yeah. Interesting start. I have a strong feeling, actually, because I'm recording this post-gameplay, so I've got a few ideas of how things are going to pan out, but my initial thoughts on this first couple of rounds was this could be the first game I will lose in the community game, because it's looking good. And the Allied team are strong. They've got some good players, so I think it's going to be a tough game to pull back for us on this one. But there we go. That's round 1 and 2. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.